Hi everybody, Jo here. So you know what that means. Grab yourself a brew, maybe a cheeky biscuit, and we're going to have a catch up and a bit of crafty fun. So today we're going to do some what I class as clean and simple, but nice. I hate to use the term quick and easy, but honestly these really are. These are great Christmas cards for batch card making. Now, a couple of ladies have messaged me and said they're a bit behind. They've lost the mojo for when it comes to Christmas designs. So I'm hopefully going to sort that out. Now, the reason I've gone for these two designs, and I'm just going to move them to the side, is when I'm batch card making, I've gone for a 6x6 card and envelope because I'm going on the theory that we're just going to get one pack of cards and envelopes and basically make them all. So we're going on a 6x6 card. Now what that means is I tend to use an A4 piece of card and cut it down. So out of my A4 piece, I tend to use a 14 centimetre, oh, look at that, an Eric dog hair. Oh, now you crafters that have got pets will know what that's like. So if you haven't got a pet, don't judge me, please, honestly. When you've got a crafty companion, they do get everywhere. So I'm using, you can either use the Multifarious card, or this one is A4 sheets of Clarity stencil card. Now I'm using a 14x14 square. Now what that gives me is a strip. When I've cut the 14x14, I have this strip. So what I do is I cut these, as it happens, this is 3 inches. So I cut those into squares and I'm left with this. Now my idea with this is that we can utilise all those. So out of these two, I'm going to do this design. And then with these 2 little squares, I'm going to make this topper. And obviously this is just left for a sentiment. And then with this one, I'm not going to do it today, but the idea is, look, you could make this little topper. If I turn that over, that would go lovely either in the middle, or if you've got a sentiment to go down there. And that's just Pippin, very simple, a fir tree, Pippin, little bit of pale blue ink and some Posca pen, a little bit of stickles. Lovely to batch card make that. So therefore we're going to use all those pieces of card. But the other thing is, these bits, I mean, how many offcuts? I do think Christmas is a lovely time. Look in your box of offcuts and see if you've got some like this. Like I say, with the sentiment stamps there, I just haven't decided which sentiment yet. So what we'll do is we'll do this one first. If I stand that one there, I can see where I'm going. So I'm just going to get my stamping. You know what I'm like, a magazine and some copy paper. A few people have asked recently about stamping mats. Now various companies do stamping mats, and I have to say, if you've got one and you love it, that's great. You know by now I'm a bit of a tight crafter, so if I can have something at home like a couple of magazines and some copy paper, I do find as well, if I need to test a stamp, the copy paper's there ready. So that's just why I do it this way. Now excuse me, my voice is tons better, and thank you to all those lovely messages you've been sending me. Did have a bit of a scare this week and they sent me for some tests. They thought it might have gone to larynx cancer, but the good news is it hasn't, and I got the all clear yesterday, so I'm thrilled with that. And but it might just go a bit iffy and I might need to clear my throat, so I do apologise now in advance. But and I'm hoping I sound a bit better, because I know it must be annoying when I sound really croaky. So again, I do apologise, but it's just like crafting with friends, so I'm hoping you'll forgive me. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use this fir cone branch, and I'm going to use a brown, and I've got Acorn. I do love this colour. Now, you know me, this is the design I want to finish with. I have to stamp this way just because it's a quirk of mine. So when you're watching me stamp, obviously I'm going to be making the design this way to start off with. It is a square piece of card, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to ink it up. Now again, if I was batch card making, I would stamp this design quite a few times. I'm just going to, I've just caught a bit of the end, and I'm just going to, if I don't take that ink off, I know me being me. Now I want it about there, and I want this one in the middle. Give it a good press. I don't need to hold it too long. It's not a silhouette. So now that's lovely. Now I want this one longer than the other two. I want them a bit shorter. So my suggestion is, as I say, if I was batch card making, I would stamp this middle one on all my pieces of card first. Because what I'm going to do now is just clean the ink off that top fir cone, because I don't want that one on my next lot of inking. I do love batch card making, you know, it's quite satisfying. So what I'm going to do now, just check you're in shot. Or rather, I'm in shot. Just going to ink up but just those bottom two fir cones. And I want that to come sort of at that angle. And don't worry about this bit here, that's fine. And then just a bit more. And this one I want to come over here. So we're going to do a bit of flower arranging, and we want almost, if I turn it round, that spray type. And don't worry about this here because we're going to over stamp. And so like I say, batch card making, I'd get them all to this this level before going in with my next. Now I'm just going to give my stamp a quick, I know there's a school of thought you don't need to clean your stamps, and like I say, I'm afraid for me, I have to. It's just something I have to do. So now I'm going to come in, need to turn it round again, with this lovely little, this is one of those pound stamps. You know I love the pound stamps. And I'm going to use a green, so we're using Shady Lady. Now I know its real name Shady Lane, but I've renamed it Shady Lady. And I got quite excited because I saw another demonstrator calling it Shady Lady the other day. And I thought, yes, the world is now going to be known as Shady Lady. Now I want to put one of these on the base of each of those, just to extend it a little. So again, I'm just inking it up and I'm just coming to the base, and we're going to fill in. Now I know some ladies have said they get a bit worried with clean and simple. The best advice I can give you is think of pizza. We don't want a pizza topping, so we don't want to throw it all over. So we want to keep these areas. Once I've gone down here, I'm not going to come any further down. And I'm not going to overfill these. I just want that nice amount. So here, look, where I've almost got that half a fir cone, we can put that. And then I'm thinking here, a touch of green. Don't want too much. That's enough. So maybe, to even it up, maybe just one here. Now, I know you might be tempted to there, but I personally think that may look too much. So let's put one there, turn it round. Now, we've got to add our berries, but it does look, can you see there's a space there? So I'm going to add one there, but I'm not going to add any more. When I've added my berries, should I wish, I could come back and add the odd one. But like I say, you need to be mindful. Just think of me saying no pizzas. Now, recently, I've used this little, the pound stamp with the berries on. But for this one, I found it was almost too long, look, and it came out too far. So what I'm using is, there's a berry wreath set, which is 3 stamps. And the third on the set is this gorgeous little one. And I found I'm using this a lot. So I'm coming in with Chianti, if I can get the lid off. Sorry, excuse me, just grab a quick little sip of water. Right, so coming in with the Chianti. And again, let's have a look. So maybe a berry here. And this is lovely because, look, you can match up, if you should wish, the stems. Now, you can actually put, look there, we could have it just coming off the end. Now, I think we need one in here. Now, somewhere here, let's go there. I think that's crying out for one there. Turn it round, let's have a look. Yes, we're keeping that nice shape. Actually, I think one on the end of there will really elongate that. So if I put it just coming out of there, yeah, I like that. Maybe just a couple up here. So I'm thinking one there, one in there, last one in there. We probably won't see that one, but yeah. You see, I know you could be tempted to put one there and one there, but again, you're going to lose that white space. I'm happy with that. So again, be mindful. Think no pizzas. Jo says no pizzas. We like that. Now, I'm just going to turn it over, give it a bit of a blot, because again, we've used VersaFine Clair, so it's a slow drying ink. Now, the next bit, we're going to add a little bit of colour, and this is just a normal, this is a Spectrum Noir colouring pencil. And for batch card making, this is very quick because all you're going to do is add a little bit of brown. Now, I've gone for a mid-brown. I just want the fir cones to stand out a little, but can you see, if I just bring it a little bit closer, I'm sorry, it will take the camera a minute to catch up. Can you see how it just gives them a bit of depth and they don't look as insipid? So I think it's worth just spending a couple of minutes, well, seconds really, just adding that colour look. Now, while I've got the pencil, if you look here on the finished one, can you see I've added some almost stems? You see, when I add the string, and I've gone for string just to add sort of a rustic, if you've got lovely Christmas decorative bows, a bow would look nice. But I'm going for this, and also I thought it went with the brown. Now, if I just put that there, to me, it doesn't look like a sprig hanging down. Now, you could stamp one of your stamps that's got a stem, and that's fine. For me, I just find it easier to, do you know what? I'm just going to draw a couple of sprigs there. Now, to make it look a bit more authentic and to carry it on, look, with the brown, and again, this is a nice, clean and simple and almost a modern design, so you don't have to be perfect. If you come outside the lines a little, it doesn't matter. And that brown there will just tie in, when that's on there, the whole effect, look. So don't be frightened of doing that. You just need, oh, I've smudged there, never mind. You just need the confidence to do that. Now, there are some little berries on the holly. Now, I've just got, I got this from Lavinia. It's one of the gel pens. And again, it's quite quick. Now, you could use Perfect Pearls for this if you wanted, or you could use gems. But again, it goes back to me being that, I don't like the word tight, but I can't think, thrifty. There we go. I'm a thrifty crafter. So for me, putting gems on, I'd be like, well, I suppose it would depend how special you were. But you're all my friends and you're all special, so I'd put gems on for you. But in all honesty, when you are putting these, sending these through the post, sometimes if you've got gems, when it goes through the franking machine, it can leave a mark on the envelope. So it's nice to put a piece of, say, kitchen roll or something, and it can make it that bit wider. So for me, and do you know what, you can add little, we'll just put some little red berries there. I think I've got them all, have I? This is where you shout at me and tell me I've missed some, like there, look. Can't believe I missed those. Now, white pen. Now, this is a Jelly Roll pen. I know I use the Posca, and we're going to come to that in a minute because we're going to use it for our splats. But for these little berries here, my Posca's a little bit thick. I know quite a few ladies have messaged and asked what size Posca pen. Now, you can get a fine one here. Now, and this is a 0.9 to a 1.3 millimetre. This is a PC 3 millimetre. And it's quite a fine nozzle look, but even that for me is just a bit too thick. So, I mean, I have various widths. I just sort of buy them, keep them in my tin, and, you know, just use whichever one I need at the time. And I've got to be honest, for these tiny little berries and for speed, I've gone with my Jelly Roll. The only trouble is you have to watch. You don't, but I've just put my hand in my, in the berries. Right, I think that's, you can add a little bit there. So, that's that so far. We'll move that out. And what I would do then is add my splats. So as you can see on here, we've got splats here. Now, various ways of doing this. I'm going to use a Posca pen. Now, again, if I was batch card making, I would get all my cards to this level, my toppers, and splat them all together. A few ladies have asked about the Posca pen. It has got a ball bearing in, so you do need to shake it before you use it. Now, I'm just going to literally flick, look, and you get that lovely coverage. I don't want too much, again, no pizza, and for me, that's enough. Now, if you can't get the flicking, it's almost like a whip, dare I say, a whipping motion. If you can't do that, you can use a ruler and hit the pen like that. But I find almost just do a flick, and that for me is enough. And the last little thing, I would just glue my bow there, and if I just bring that up close, that didn't take long at all, did it? And as I say, for batch card making, I think you could get quite a few of these. And this one here, I've just put white on white. But if you wanted to, say, do a few of these on 6x6, but then say you wanted to make one a little bit more special, why not put some brown, maybe matte it on brown, then go on to white, and maybe buy a few little metal embellishments, some fir cones or some holly, and add those, and that really would, obviously I've not glued my bow down yet, that would take it again to the next level. But I do think it's just a lovely, lovely quick design. So that's that one. Now we'll move on to our little square. So I'm just going to put that to one side. Now, you know what I'm like, my craft table, I haven't got many of the one side left. So, sorry, excuse me. Going to bring in our little piece now. And this is very similar, and it uses the same stamps. So it's just showing you a twist on what we've already done. Back to the fir cone branch. And I do think when you're batch card making, using the stamps you've got, obviously it's a lot quicker because you're using what's on your desk. But also you're creating, we're just going to stamp this in the middle. And again, I'm doing it sideways. It's the way I just have to do it. So stamp that. I do think, so it's like for me, I send Christmas cards obviously to my mum and dad, my sister, my brother. Now my sister and my brother see my parents. So I could actually do these two cards, and I could make that one for, say, my sister, this one for my brother, and put some nice winter wishes, or to the best brother, I could put that on. But then for my mum and dad, I could maybe matte and layer this and add some metal embellishments. And again, it would look a different card. Put it on an 8x8, would look a different card, but I've done it all with what's on my desk. So for this one, we've got to that stage. So it's back in with the Shady Lady. And, oh, my little pound stamp's decided it's not going to stick today. I think I need to clean its back. So this, again, I want to be mindful. I want to keep this white space round here. So let's come in with, let's have one there, one there. Let's just put one at the end. Now, I don't want to mirror it exactly. I need it to look quite natural. So maybe bring that one in a little bit. And here, I'm going to alternate that. Can you see there? Now, should I put one there? What do you think? Shall we? We will. Oh yeah, that looks nice, doesn't it? I like that flow, and then it's not too symmetrical. I want it to look natural, and it does almost follow that flow round now. Because that's the other thing. You don't want it to look too contrived. You want it to still look quite natural. So we come in with the little berries and a bit of Chianti. Now let's have a look. Where have we got space? We've got space there, definitely. And here, look, we can have one coming off there. 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 Now, do we want one at the end? No, I don't think we do. You know, I quite like that. I think that looks lovely. Now, in fact, this would probably look nice matted on some burgundy card. I'm just going to pop one in there. Yeah. And then at the very top here. Right, stop. Listen to your own advice. No pizzas. So, as we did before, blot it. I mean, the good thing is if you were doing them batch card making, you wouldn't need to blot it because it would take you, by the time you finish stamping, the ink will be dry on the first ones for you to add your colour. And then berries. Now, for anybody who hasn't, say you haven't got a Posca pen and you wanted to add some white, have you got white paint or white gesso? Because the other thing you can do, and I don't think I've got any white, oh I have, I've got some white paint. So, we've missed those berries. So instead of just talking, let me show you. So if you wanted to add some splats, what's quite nice is, I haven't got a card blank. Let's pretend this is the card blank and we've matted and laid this. What you can do, this is very impromptu. So this is a little bit of just white paint. Right, and I'm only going to put a little bit. And then take your fan brush, and you know me, my fan brush is always in water. And then what you're going to do is, with it being a fan brush, check it's fanned out enough. And then just literally come in. Well, that's enough. Now again, I'm just going to lift that up. So if I show you, as I say, let's pretend this is the card blank. I've already stamped my Christmas greeting and I've matted and layered that. And look at that, you wouldn't need much else. And that again gives lovely snow. And what's nice, I know these are larger than the others, but I just think that adds to the whole effect. That will dry beautifully. Now, obviously I've got a little bit there that I'm going to just clean up. But to be honest, again, if you're batch card making, you would do this with all your toppers and your card blanks at the same time. And that way, A, it saves mess, but B, it's so much quicker and easier to do. A production line is great. But again, if you want to spend your time and make them individually, that's fine. So that's my two little designs. Now, just before I go, if you can bear with me, I want to have a little chat with you. One of the ladies, Sue Dunlop, I believe it was, asked me about, she said she'd tried these, you know, I tend to draw my little tufts of grass on things, and she was struggling a little bit with it. So if you bear with me, I just want, this is for Sue, just want to spend a couple of minutes just showing you. Now, I would practice these on copy paper, and for me, I tend to just, and it's having the confidence, and that's why you practice. I would look, that's just a bit of grass. And all it is, if I do it bigger, it tends to be a few lines like that. I would always have one sort of in the middle, a couple either side. Again, doesn't matter, don't want it symmetrical. And then I always put a little line underneath, and then almost a wiggle. So as I say, when it's quite big, you're looking at sort of a couple of lines like that, and then a wiggle. And again, I've just done that quite big so that you can see it. And then just practice doing that. So say you've got a tree stamped. There we go, that's a tree. And again, for me, just don't like that bareness at the bottom. So that's when I would just add a couple of bits of grass either side and a squiggle. And what it means is if you come, this was just another design I was playing about at Christmas. One of the ladies asked me for a design using these two stamps, the lovely stag and the fir cone branch. So this was a very quick design I came up with. And again, I would just add a few. So if you wanted to add one here, look, so it's that main one, a couple either side, bit of a squiggle underneath. And it just breaks up that. And honestly, that's all it is. But it is the confidence, and just try it on copy paper and really don't worry about it, don't think about it. But again, like a pizza, don't overdo it. You know, you don't want any of this with lots of, it's just too much. So really, you know, 5 little bits and a little squiggle. That's all you need. So that's for Sue, and I hope it helps, I really do. But a lot of it is just practice. Practice, 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 and don't be afraid of it. However you do it, it's going to look beautiful, honestly. So I'm going to leave you now. What I'll do actually, I'll bring on the two that we've made. Oh look, that one's shooting off. And this is the topper that we made. So I'm hoping you like these. I'm hoping you have a go at them. And thank you to the ladies who are doing the online workshops and who've sent me a lovely email this morning from Australia showing me what you've made. Honestly, I really appreciate it, and I'm so proud of all your work, and I'm glad that we can craft along together. So I'm going to go now. I think I've taken up enough of your time. I'm sure you've finished your brew by now. It's lovely to catch up with you, and I hope you're all feeling well. So love and hugs coming from me. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.